If I told you right now that I have an acceptance letter waiting for you two, like an elite hidden academy,
Oh, here we go.
you'd probably start asking about the tuition. Or, wondering if you need to go buy a heavy velvet robe and a custom wand.
Right, the whole fantasy setup.
Exactly. But what if I told you there is no tuition, there is no entrance exam, and there is absolutely no owl required?
No owls. Good to know.
The doors to this academy open the exact millisecond you fall asleep tonight. Welcome to Season 2 of Lucid Journeys.
Season 2. So exciting to finally be here.
We are so incredibly hyped. We're diving into Part 3 of our season-long deep dive, and, our mission today is to wrap up our analysis of the incredible changes in the newly released second edition of Book 1 of the Aislingverse.
Which is just a massive milestone.
Huge. We are celebrating its first ever release as a beautiful hardcover, but most importantly, we are handing you a real-world curriculum to master your own dreams tonight.
Yeah, we are stepping out of pure literary theory and right into applied nightly practice. You are already eligible to enroll. But to understand how, we really have to look closely at this second edition.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Because when people hear second edition, they often assume that the author went back and, fundamentally changed the world or rewrote the rules of the universe.
Right, like a total reboot.
Yeah, but the world of the Aislingverse didn't actually change between editions. It's like putting on a brand new pair of prescription glasses.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
The world was always there exactly as it is, but we're just finally seeing its true details in perfect focus.
Exactly. The right names are finally surfacing, and the true nature of the lore is, coming into focus.
Yeah.
So to understand how you can enroll in this nighttime academy, we first have to look at how the second edition redefines exactly who is allowed to enter in the first place.
Right.
Which means looking at the biggest shift in the series lore. So in the first edition, the text used the term true dreamer.
Right. Capital T, capital D.
Yeah. It was a label for those who practiced Layeromancy, the art of dream magic. It separated them from regular passive sleepers.
And look, language carries an enormous amount of weight. That label, true dreamer, it accidentally implied that it was a birthright.
A genetic gift.
Right. It sounded like you were either born a true dreamer, part of some chosen few with magical blood, or you were just destined to be a regular sleeper for the rest of your life. But the second edition drops the word true entirely.
It does.
Now it simply uses a capital D dreamer.
And that change aligns the lore of the book directly with real-world cognitive science. Advanced practitioners have discovered that lucid dreaming is a trainable skill, not a biological trait.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's well established that roughly half of all people experience at least one lucid dream in their lifetime without even trying.
Just by accident.
It's totally by accident. And the data shows that deliberate practice directly increases that frequency. So there is no lucid dreaming gene that splits humanity into, the chosen and the sleeping. The line between being asleep and being a dreamer is a line absolutely anyone can cross simply through practice.
Anyone.
What's fascinating here is how the author's own cognitive science background directly shapes the revised lore to match reality. The world of the books completely agrees with the science now.
Let me push back on that for a second, though.
Go for it.
If there is no chosen one gene, doesn't that make Philip's journey less about fulfilling some grand magical destiny and more like, an intense martial arts training montage?
That is precisely what it makes it. And frankly, I think that makes the narrative infinitely more compelling.
Because he earns it.
Exactly. It shifts the entire power dynamic of the series from fate to personal agency. Philip isn't special because of his bloodline. He is special because of his relentless discipline. He is putting in the hours.
He's doing the work. And because this is a skill anyone can learn, the school where these skills are honed isn't some exclusive magical realm locked away behind a bloodline.
Yep.
It's a place that just got its true name revealed in this edition, and you, the person listening right now, you're already on the campus. The location previously known as the School of Dreamancy is finally revealed by its true name.
The Lucid Academy.
The Lucid Academy.
This is the endless hallway of doors that Philip has dreamed of since Chapter 1, long before he or the reader even knew what it was.
Right.
And the Elder Council acts as the professors, or dream masters, each teaching their own metaphysical discipline.
But the actual campus is your own sleeping mind.
Yeah.
So let's walk through the real-world course catalog for the Lucid Academy, starting from the ground up, because you can literally start this curriculum tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
Semester 1 is Dream Recall.
Recall is the absolute foundation. I mean, you cannot manipulate or work with dreams you do not remember.
Right, which makes sense.
A lot of people claim they don't dream at all. But the science tells us everyone dreams multiple times a night. The issue is purely a failure of the memory retrieval system upon waking.
Okay, so how do we actually fix that retrieval system?
Well, the moment your alarm goes off, your brain starts shifting from the theta brainwaves of sleep into the high alert beta brainwaves of waking life.
Which is very jarring.
Very. And that transition acts like a windshield wiper on your short-term memory. So the trick to semester 1 is to not move a single muscle when you wake up.
Not even to hit snooze.
Don't even reach for the alarm. You have to linger in that groggy state. Keep your eyes closed, stay completely still, and reverse engineer whatever feeling you have in your chest.
Interesting. So like if you wake up feeling anxious, you ask yourself, why am I anxious? Was I running? Who was I running from?
Exactly. By tracing the emotion backward, the narrative of the dream starts to unfold. And once you pull that narrative back into your conscious mind, you immediately enter semester 2, which is dream journaling.
Right, where you keep a notebook or a voice recorder right by the bed. You have to capture the dream before you get up to brush your teeth because dream memories are incredibly volatile.
They vanish so fast.
They really do. And writing them down physically signals to your brain that these nighttime experiences are important, which actively trains your subconscious to retain more of them moving forward.
Building that retention muscle is crucial. But, simply remembering your dreams is only the observation phase.
Right, you're just watching a movie.
Yeah. To move from passive observer to active participant, you need a mechanism to wake up your conscious mind while the dream is still happening. And that brings us to semester 3.
The big one.
This is today's flagship lesson. This is the class on reality checks.
Okay, so for anyone who has casually looked into lucid dreaming, you've probably heard about reality checks. The usual advice you find online is to just randomly ask yourself, am I dreaming? Throughout the day.
Look at a clock, ask the question, move on.
Right, but the second edition radically refines this approach.
It does, because experienced dream masters understand that doing reality checks at random, arbitrary times does not work.
It just doesn't.
No. If you tie your reality check to a common trigger, like every time you walk through a doorway, your brain just turns it into a mindless automated habit. You'll do the physical check, but you won't actually be engaged in questioning your fundamental reality.
You're just going through the motions.
Exactly.
So the actual trigger can't just be a doorway or a clock on the wall. It has to be a glitch. It has to be that sudden feeling of, wait, that's weird.
Yes. Dreams constantly give themselves away through weirdness. Little anomalies that don't quite make sense, like a doorway leading to a room that shouldn't be there, or someone speaking in a voice that isn't theirs.
I hate when that happens.
Right. So unsettling. The true trigger for a reality check is that internal feeling of noticing an anomaly.
Here's where it gets really interesting. It's like setting up a cybersecurity alert in your brain. You're programming your subconscious to run a diagnostic test every time it detects a glitch in the matrix of your environment.
I love that analogy. And that cybersecurity alert is necessary because our brains are naturally wired as prediction machines.
How so?
Well, from an evolutionary biology standpoint, the brain consumes about 20% of the body's caloric energy. To conserve that energy, it uses heuristics. It smooths over glitches.
It takes shortcuts.
Exactly. In waking life, if you see a shadow moving strangely in the corner of your eye, your brain immediately categorizes it as a trick of the light, rather than stopping to calculate the complex physics of the room. It takes the path of least cognitive resistance.
But with this training, we are teaching ourselves to stop smoothing it over. When you think, that's odd, while awake, you have to override that evolutionary heuristic and perform a physical diagnostic test.
Right.
And the physical check we are teaching today is the classic palm push.
This is a great one.
You take your index finger and you try to push it directly through your opposite palm.
But you can't just tap it. You must genuinely try to push it through, and you have to look closely at your hand while you do it.
The mechanics of why we look closely are just fascinating. Because why does the finger go through the hand in a dream in the first place? Well, in a dream, your brain is simulating the image of a hand.
Right.
But without the physical, waking world sensory feedback loop of flesh hitting flesh, the simulation is incredibly fragile.
Very fragile.
Yeah.
When you look closely, you engage the visual processing centers of the brain. You are forcing the brain to reconcile the visual input with the lack of somatosensory physical resistance.
Because there's nothing actually there.
Exactly. There's no actual flesh and bone stopping your finger. So the contradictory signals cause the simulation to crash. The finger glides right through the palm.
And boom, the lights come on, the simulation breaks, and your conscious mind reboots online, inside the dream. You realize you are dreaming while you are still inside the dream environment.
Which means you have officially passed semester 3.
Congratulations.
Achieving lucidity is a profound moment, but it immediately introduces the next challenge.
Right, because now what?
Exactly. Once your finger pushes through that palm and the reality check fails, what do you actually do with that sudden awareness? The new edition gives us a perfect, concrete example of semester 4, which is first lucidity and dream control.
There is a fantastic scene in the second edition that illustrates this transition perfectly. Philip is in a snowfort dream.
Oh, I love this scene.
His brother Jeff and his cousin Carl are playing keep away with his Nagwaagan, that traditional curved wooden artifact.
Right.
They are tossing it back and forth over his head, but instead of just trying to jump and grab it physically, Philip achieves lucidity and uses telekinesis to summon the Nagwaagan straight into his hand.
It's a deeply triumphant moment in the narrative. But we need to examine the specific mechanics behind how he executes that telekinesis. Those who've mastered this know that dream physics runs entirely on expectation.
Not gravity.
Right. It doesn't run on gravity. It doesn't run on momentum or mass or aerodynamics. It runs exclusively on what your brain deeply, fundamentally believes is going to happen next.
So when Philip summons the Nagwaagan, he isn't flexing simulated physical muscles.
No.
He is flexing pure expectation. He simply knows the object will come to him.
We know from practice that beginners should never start with grand, reality-bending telekinesis.
Now, wait, that feels counterintuitive.
I know.
If it's a dream, and I know I'm dreaming, shouldn't I be able to summon a flaming broadsword, or part the ocean, or, fly into space right out of the gate?
You can't start there because you won't truly believe it will work.
Oh, interesting.
Your conscious mind is awake inside the dream, which means your waking life habits and biases are awake with you. Our neural pathways have spent decades reinforcing the habit of gravity and physical limitations.
That makes total sense.
Gravity is a deeply ingrained subconscious expectation. If you reach out your hand and try to summon the flaming broadsword, your conscious mind whispers, "That's impossible."
And the dream listens to the whisper.
The dream physics immediately obey your skepticism, and absolutely nothing happens. You cannot simply delete a 30-year habit in 1 second.
So, what does this all mean? If expectation is the engine of dream control, our biggest obstacle isn't the dream itself. Our biggest obstacle is our own waking life skepticism getting in the way.
That is the core hurdle of semester 4. You have to hack your own expectation. When you get lucid tonight, do not try to part the ocean. Try summoning a shoe.
This is a normal shoe?
An ordinary, boring, everyday shoe. A sneaker. A loafer.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It is incredibly easy for your brain to expect an ordinary shoe to float across the room into your hand.
Because it's boring.
It's a low-stakes expectation. We've all tossed shoes, dropped shoes, kicked shoes. The brain can simulate a floating shoe with very little cognitive dissonance.
Wow. You are tricking your own skepticism by asking the dream to do something so mundane that your conscious mind doesn't throw up a roadblock.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, belief is the absolute engine of the dream world. Master the shoe, and you build the neural confidence required to eventually master the Nagwaagan. What you expect to happen, happens.
But mastering that single floating shoe doesn't just give you a cool party trick in your sleep. It fundamentally changes how you interact with the narrative of the Aislingverse.
Deeply.
Because the implications of dreaming in this series don't stop at floating footwear. They touch the very fabric of reality and time itself.
We are shifting from the mechanics of the mind to the deep philosophical lore of the world now. In the lore of the Aislingverse, every single night you go to sleep, your dreams actually branch.
Okay, let's use a quick analogy to make sense of this, because it is deep water.
It really is.
Think of your waking life like the thick trunk of a tree. Every choice you make, every path you take, forms that solid trunk. Every night when you fall asleep, your subconscious explores the branches. It calculates the infinite what-ifs of choices you didn't make today.
It's wild to think about.
You fall asleep as one person, but your mind lives out a dozen different versions of events that never happened in waking life.
You are living out the alternative timelines. They are playing themselves out somewhere in the architecture of your subconscious. Longtime fans will remember this philosophical debate from the end of Season 1.
Oh yeah, we spent hours on that.
We spent a lot of time analyzing shifting realities and the ultimate question of which version of events is the real one.
The trunk of the tree or the branches?
This raises an important question, especially right now, because the release of the second edition is, elegantly, its own reality branch point.
That is such a wild way to think about a publishing update.
But it's true. There are now two versions of the exact same book existing in our world at the same time, the first edition and the second edition. Two tellings of one story. It brings us right back to that Season 1 question, which version of the story is real?
They both are.
They both are. It is a living multiverse of the text itself. We will definitely be exploring that philosophical door much deeper as this season continues to track how these timelines will play out in the upcoming books.
And speaking of those upcoming books, this branch in reality comes with some massive news. We are in full celebration mode for the start of Season 2 because the brand new second edition of Book 1 is available right now as a beautiful hardcover for the very first time.
There has never been a hardcover before this week.
Never.
It prints beautifully, it feels substantial in your hands, and it is built to hold up on your shelf over time as you reference it.
It's available for $24.99 on Amazon right now. And for the digital readers who want to catch up instantly, the Kindle ebook is set at just 99 cents.
Such a steal.
It is the absolute perfect time to read or reread the story because Book 2, The Dreams of Phillip Aisling and the Lucid Multiverse, arrives on July 31st.
That is exactly 1 week away. You can head over to philipaisling.com for everything you need. The hardcovers, the digital downloads, the updates, all of it.
We are so incredibly grateful to be on this journey with you. But, all these branching timelines, multiverse theories, and beautiful new hardcovers ultimately bring us right back to the choice you have to make before your head hits the pillow tonight.
The lore of the story has come into focus, and now it is your turn to focus. Let's recap your actual homework for the Lucid Academy.
Get your pens out!
Your assignment today is to install the weirdness trigger.
The next time you are walking around today, whether you're at work or at the store or just sitting in your living room and you suddenly think, that's weird or that's odd, stop. Override the brain's instinct to ignore it.
Stop smoothing it out.
Right. Look directly at your hand and physically try to push your index finger right through your opposite palm. Do it with the genuine expectation that it might just go through.
That one single habit, practiced diligently in waking life, is your first real step through the endless hallway doors of the Lucid Academy.
And if you do catch yourself in a dream tonight, if that diagnostic test fails, the finger glides through your palm and you achieve lucidity. Try to summon that shoe.
I want to leave you with one final thought to mull over as you install that trigger today. We talked about how dream physics runs entirely on your conscious expectation.
Right.
If you do get lucid tonight and you successfully summon that shoe, your conscious mind will be entirely focused on the leather, the laces, the way it hovers and floats toward your hand.
All your cognitive attention is hyper-focused on rendering that one single object.
So if your conscious mind is entirely distracted by the shoe, who or what is rendering the rest of the room?
Oh, man.
Who is calculating the shadows on the wall, the ambient noise of the wind outside, the physics of the floorboards, and the characters standing silently behind you while you look at the shoe?
That gives me absolute chills. It is a vast, uncharted universe inside your own head. We want to hear from all of you. What discipline would you study at the academy if you had your pick? Did you catch yourself doing the reality check today? And most importantly, tell us if you successfully summoned the shoe.
We are absolutely pulling for the shoe.
Be sure to follow, like, and share the journey at Phillip Aisling on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Next week is going to be massive as we celebrate the release of Book 2. Remember, there is no entrance exam. The doors open tonight.
Until then, sweet lucid dreams.